I gave my notice to the board at the end of February, the day the stock market dropped 1,000 points, which I thought, boy, this is great timing, isn't it? And it really was scary for a while. I mean, not that the banks were going to fail or anything, but just, the fear of the health. We've learned more. We've learned, that we need to be careful, but we don't have to be wiping down every surface every hour necessarily. So we've been able to live with it better. I think it's caused less interactions with our clients, and that's sad in a way, because I think that's what sets us apart as a community bank. But there's people that really are not coming in as much. They're calling more. They'd like to come in and chat in the past and get a piece of candy, and they don't do that anymore. And they're moving to more electronic means of banking, which is okay. But I think it has made banking less fun than it was before. I think there's businesses and individuals are doing very well, and I think there's businesses and individuals that are struggling. You talk about residential mortgage, we do residential mortgages. We are extremely busy and have been busy. And it's both purchases, it's been some refis because of the Federal Reserve reducing rates so dramatically, but it's been people either building some houses or adding on to their homes. So people are gravitating here. They want to improve what they have here. We are aware of people in the building industry that I'm told one of the local builders, if you want that company to build you a house, you're 2 years out. Getting supplies, lumber and all that, those people are extremely busy. But then I worry about the retailers and the restaurants who, during the warmer months make hay, and then that bridges them over the colder months. And I think they've done a wonderful job of being creative and doing the best they can, but tourism's down. And so were they able to, save enough as we get into the winter they can carry through that? I worry about that. I wish I was leaving, with an upturn. Maybe it's turning up a little bit, but until this vaccine gets here and gets, most people have it, I don't see it changing a whole lot. I started with United Way when I was at Maryland National Bank, but when that happened, it was like, here's the pledge form, your boss would give it to you and say, sign it, and increase it. And it was, it was not an option. And, but I got to understand the good it did in the Baltimore area. And then going up there, I've just continued to contribute in Laurel and in every place I've been. And so getting involved in that board, we made some progress up there too, in a distressed area. So when I came here, it was kind of a natural to, want to get involved here. Found that one of the things that they didn't have was any kind of strategic plan or business plan. And so we did something quick and dirty. They didn't, make a big effort out of it, but something just to guide us. And it's a really good board, and so we've made quite a bit of progress. We did a community needs assessment. There's lots of needs, but what are the needs that need more attention? We found out that affordable transportation needs more attention. Generational poverty needed more attention. Seniors, low-income seniors, and also just a one-stop shop for people that need help. So we tackled each of those, and we made progress. One of the things that just happened recently on the affordable transportation is that the county was able to put a position in their budget for a part-time transit coordinator, which is really what is needed. The United Way is not going to run, coordinate transit on an ongoing basis. It's not our role to do that, but we facilitated that happening. We got some people in town that could help with that, including county people like Shelley Heller and Jamie Williams from the Economic Development and others. And we got the Delmarva Community Transit people, got their attention, and they participated. And so we did some things like publishing where the bus stops are. These things are, it's amazing. You start looking at things and you find out there's not a schedule that you can get to, Or you find out that there's a bus that leaves Rock Hall at 6 in the morning but never goes back. And so we tackled some of those tasks. But the main thing was we got to get somebody to pay attention to this every day. What we did is we latched onto a national program called Bridges Out of Poverty that the local management board had introduced in the community. And but we took it and said, look, we'll run with this for a while. And we had 3 sessions that we did for 10, 8, 12 people, which, you know, if you ended up out of that with one person out of each of those sessions that kind of turned their life, that just it becomes an exponential thing in their families because generational poverty. If you can get them to, and so we think we had some success, not great success, but we did 3 of them. But then as the pandemic started to hit, we really need somebody to pick that ball up. We can help fund it. But again, our role in United Way isn't to run things, it's to fund the things. And so hopefully that will get, because this was a program that was proven nationally. It wasn't, you know, some fly by night. But it's one that you just make very incremental progress is all you can really hope for. Well, it is wonderful. Their leadership, their people, the staff is really top notch. The board engaged, very supportive. I mean, you know, you look what's happened in the 6, 7 years I've been here. They've built this new building and paid for it 100% here, right on Cross Street, which is an educational center. They've expanded their programs. They do wonderful educational work. And it's a hallmark for the area, that ship, that boat, going up and down the harbor, which we miss right now because it's basically winterized because of COVID. It really is a kind of a hole, I think, in the community. And I've, being on the board, I've chaired their development committee until recently. We were doing some really good things, and it's all kind of ground to almost a halt because of this. You know, it's going to be well into next year before they'll be able to, I think, start to resume much of anything. And it's really a shame because of the good work that they did with mainly public school children. Yeah, there's some private school children that participate, but mainly public school children, not just in Kent County, but, you know, Caroline, Dorchester, Talbot. I was telling my wife last weekend, I was a little bit sad, and I got thinking this time last year was downrigging, which downrigging was always a wonderful event anyway with these ships coming in. Well, Sultana created a festival out of it, a music fest, which was glorious. And it was going to be even better this year. And it just didn't happen because of the pandemic. You know, the University of Maryland, their new president, Dr. Santa, who is terrific, he is on our Shore Regional Health Board. He's committed to enhancing what goes on here. The regulators will need to endorse it. They seem to be on board. There's a plan underway being worked on jointly with you know, the Shore Regional Health, University of Maryland, the regulators, which would, you know, create a rural hospital model here with an elder or geriatric health focus, which perfect. I mean, it's just perfect, and I'm optimistic that's gonna happen. You know, what I tried to do, being a board member from this area on that Shore Regional Health Board, was try to bridge a gap that had developed, a wide gap between Shore Regional Health and then the Save the Hospital group. The comment I would make is we got to stop shooting bows, you know, arrows up and down 213. The problem is in Annapolis and it's in Baltimore. It's not down in Easton. It really isn't. And one of the things that was very gratifying is over the last, you know, 6, 8 months, there have been some real progress so that the Save the Hospital people and the leadership of Shore Regional Health, including Ken Cozell, and there's a trust that's developed that is really what is needed. Work together on solving the problem, because again, up and down 213 is not where it was, and so that's something that I think I help facilitate, but there's other things that have. I'm not responsible for all the good things coming out of the University of Maryland. I won't take credit for that, but it's the most positive it's been since I've been here. Everybody will say it's about the health care, and I think, yeah, it is about the health care. But it becomes about the money, because running a small hospital is like running a small school system, is like running a small bank. You can't be as efficient and effective. You're going to have more overhead. And until the regulators decide that, and hopefully they will, that they're going to reimburse at higher rates for rural health care, that it's important, then that's really the key, because the pressures, come down from the regulators, and that's what forces some of this consolidation that occurs. If healthcare really is important, and I think Dr. Santha and the leadership of SHORE are really, really behind this now, is if it really is important, then the money should be there to support it. I do think that I'm leaving it better when I came in, and so I'm happy about that. I'm not happy that it's in the middle of COVID. My chairman said a few weeks ago, he said, "We're going to have a big party, a retirement party." And I said, "No, we're not having a big retirement party." But we have very fond memories of this area and the great people.